Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, TDC Podcast. Is everything all right, T?
Yeah.
You're what?
I'm hitting wrong buttons. We're good.
It's always something, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I put it on the camera like I was over there, and then I was about to get up and walk away.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit, that's not the right camera. I won't be here very long.
Are you high this afternoon?
Oh, fuck. Come on.
Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. It's good to have you here. How you doing, T?
I'm good. We had 2 engineers in the house yesterday. Now I got nothing, so back to flying
it's
solo.
Tough. It's tough, yeah. It's a much quieter, calmer room today.
It is.
I will say.
No squawking.
No squawking and chirping. That son of a bitch is loud, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
I have his mic at like half level for the whole show. He's he's incredible.
Yeah.
Talking, of course, about Travis.
Obviously.
Yeah.
He wasn't shut up, that guy.
Jesus
Good Lord.
Christ. Blah, 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 blah. Squawk, squawk, squawk.
Yeah.
Anyway, exciting day, exciting week.
It has been.
It really is,
Yeah.
especially for you, Gorilla. You know, it's an exciting week for the T.
Yeah, I got some fresh gear going
Hell
on.
yeah, I love it.
It's
I
good.
love it.
It's good.
I noticed the white doesn't pop on the camera as much. Maybe your camera does. Mine did not last night.
Maybe.
So I'm wearing the black one today.
Okay, we'll see.
Hopefully that looks good.
Yeah.
Just negate who's wearing it.
I just
Talking about the logo and
But to be
sweatshirt.
clear, I cannot wear a fucking white. This will be destroyed.
Why?
Because I'm a mess. I'm
Yeah.
a disaster. I just
Yeah.
can't. There'll be shit on it by the end of the show.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I took it off yesterday because I was making food and I was like, oh, there's no way.
Good move.
I ended up making some nachos and I was like, salsa with me and all white on.
First bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Automatic.
Forget it. Yeah. So, I took it off to eat.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Anyway, before we get started, a little housekeeping.
Yeah.
Amazon link. Just go to DetroitCast.com while that is still hosting the site. Click the link. Shop as normal. I know a lot of you guys are doing shit tons of shopping through Amazon. It really, really helps. Every little bit adds up. I appreciate some people that have said that new jobs require them to order through Amazon, and just go to DetroitCast.com. Obviously, it doesn't cost you anymore, but they kick a little bit back to us. Just an easy way to support the show by doing shit you're already doing, going to Amazon.
Yep.
And I know if I'm not reminded, I can forget myself.
Sure.
So I really appreciate it if you guys, if that's conscious in your everyday, it really does add a lot of value for us.
Yeah.
Also, MyPillow.com. I know some of you hate Mike Lindell. That's okay.
Sure.
That's fine. You're allowed to politically disagree. I don't care what he thinks about elections or whatever.
Makes damn fine sheets.
He makes good stuff. Those
And
Giza
pillars.
sheets are fucking unbelievable. They're unbelievable.
Slip-us,
The slippers, the
robe, towels, all of it. Pet beds.
Hat said she got a Giza pillow.
She mentioned it. I haven't seen it.
I go, I don't know what the... She goes, I swear to God, it's a Giza pillow, and it's awesome.
Okay.
So
More
I'm
new
gonna have
stuff.
to. We're gonna have to get with Dawn
Yeah.
later today and go. We need a couple of these Giza pillows over at Radio for One.
If we're going to promote this
and
stuff,
try them out.
we need to know.
The towels, even Raj, who fucking despises Mike Lindell and his politics, is like, I can't deny those fucking towels are goddamn amazing. So just use promo code TDC. Promo code TDC, and we
Get
get
you the
kickback
lowest price out there.
And the most important thing, patreon.com/TDC Podcast. Sign up, show your support. We're trying really hard over here. We're working hard every day.
Yep.
We have not been able to pay ourselves. You know, there's a lot of activity to get this up and running and blah, blah, blah. So every little bit helps. If you're on the fence, I guarantee you'll love the content in there. And we're creating more every single week. Yep. That's our promise to you. We won't drop the ball on that. There's a tier for everybody.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
There's a way that you can do custom ones. You can
Find
do
what
anything.
suits you.
Yep.
Hey.
So
Speaking of the Patreon, let's get some new members.
let's do it.
Don Leal.
Don Lee. Okay. Recognize Don. Yeah. I think he's been a supporter for quite a while.
Excellent. I
Yeah.
would hope so. Bruce McGee.
Bruce McGee, another name I recognize. Thank you, Bruce.
Bobby's brother, obviously.
Clearly Bobby's brother.
Yep. Jeff Sorgalos.
Sorgalus.
There's 2 O's
Sorgalos.
back there.
Sorgalus.
Sorgalos. I don't.
Sorgalus.
I'm gonna go Sorgalus
Okay. Now, what makes you think Sorgalus?
because there's 2 O's.
Oh, okay.
Loos.
Yeah.
Sorgalus.
Sorgaluser.
Well, loser's 1 O. Loose.
Yeah, that's loose.
Sorgalus is with 2 O's.
Sorgalus. What's his first name?
Jeff.
Jeff.
El Jefe Sorgalus.
Sorgaluse.
Chris putting on the Ritz.
Chris Ritz.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Love
Good.
it.
Like that cracker. Love your cracker.
Buttery.
Yeah.
Is what I would
It
say to
is.
describe salt and buttery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a good combination.
Yeah. I liked it more as a kid.
Yeah.
Are you one of the I bet you're one of those guys who can eat a sleeve.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I could see you doing that,
Yeah.
taking down a whole sleeve at once.
Yeah. I go back and forth between Ritz and a club.
Really?
Yeah, I do like a good club
Yeah,
cracker as
you're
well.
with my dad on that.
Yeah.
Are you a cheese slice on the club guy?
Oh, fuck yeah. If I
Yeah.
can, I'll put cheese on anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a cheese on Ritz guy.
Really, I'm more of a
Like,
cheese.
if I'm-
I would go cheese on Ritz before I go cheese on club.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah.
That you are out of your mind. See, if I pull a sleeve of Chris Ritz crackers out, I'm not putting shit on it.
Okay.
Maybe
Straight.
peanut butter. I could be enticed into a peanut butter.
Well, see, there you just clearly lost your entire argument right there.
Cheese on a Ritz. That sounds sad. I mean, club all day, every day. But
Okay. Interesting take.
Yeah.
Disagree to agree.
we'll disagree to agree. I
And
like
we have a Richard.
it. Dick.
Didn't leave a last name, so we're just going to go with Dick.
Dick. Thank you, Dick.
I assume that
A
was
little
on
bit
purpose.
bit of a dick in all of us.
I know who that is, so I'm not going to say the name because I assume by putting it on there, maybe
Yeah.
you didn't want it. So I'm
It's
going
not,
to respect those wishes.
It's not the N-Balls family, is it?
What?
Is it? Is it?
Oh, no.
It's not the N-
No, not
Dick
Dick and
N-Balls?
Ball. No.
Because I know the N-Balls family's been supportive over the years.
Yeah,
I don't know
his
if
brother Cock.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're big
Cock
supporters.
and balls, Dick and balls. Yeah.
Nope, not as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
But
okay.
for
Well,
now,
if the N-Balls family is listening,
we'll leave it with that.
yeah.
Hey, I do have another little bit of business. As I was going through some things, I noticed, especially our YouTube, our views have been going up, which is nice and excellent. And thank you, everyone, for that.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing we're getting about 10% from views to likes.
Yeah. Which is bullshit.
Right.
It's an insult.
if you're-
Slap on the face.
A little bit.
It's a Will Smith move.
Maybe it's people just not thinking about it. I don't always like something when I watch it.
Yeah.
I'm just asking to be a little more conscientious of that because if we got that number up, that percentage up, if we got our likes anywhere near our views, that would change things considerably. So, so if you pop in there, just
hit the like button.
Just give that baby a like, especially a comment would go a long way too.
Comment is huge.
Absolutely.
Huge.
Some
And
interaction on there. But
I noticed the smart asses too, because we said stuff like, just say comment. It's fine. It'll get in the algorithm. And smart asses are doing that.
Say.
Really, you uncreative. You can't just go,
do better.
God, T looks handsome today.
Damn right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mike looks thinner today.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that new logo.
Something, anything.
Hey, my favorite show's back on.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
No, there's some comments in there, but
Yeah, some of those.
Yeah, but the like is something that's just very easy to do, and I don't know if
Simple.
that's people that maybe not when you're not logged in technically, like on an account, you can't like and comment on things.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
So maybe if you just go to it and you're not actually logged into like a YouTube account, maybe that plays a part in that. But it's free. You guys can go ahead and get yourself a YouTube account if you watch it on there. And but just something I noticed.
Help a brother out. These are all ways to help us
literally
out.
like consistently about 10% of views to actual likes.
Yeah.
And they got rid of the dislike button, so who knows? Maybe there's 90% dislikes on there.
Yeah, there's
So,
not. But I know what you mean. Those snake fucking. Yeah, there's only one reason to get rid of that dislike button, and it's not for the reasons they're telling you.
Exactly.
Believe me, we're big boys. We can handle some dislikes, right?
Yeah.
We don't need protection from you.
Thank you for
The people that do need protection from that are the people that are getting rationed to fuck for their horrible takes.
Exactly.
The left-wing media's horrible takes every day, whether it's regarding COVID, and you just see 6,000 dislikes and fucking 400 likes, and it's like,
we'll just change that
we
into
need
400 likes.
Yeah, 400 likes looks way better than 6,000 dislikes. So make no mistake, that's why they did that.
All right. That's my pandering plea. That was just something I came across that I would
I
address.
love it. Hey, we're not above pandering.
No, not at all.
Sad day today, honestly. You sent me the story, T, that Gilbert Gottfried died today.
Just happened.
Just kind of hitting the wire. Apparently, he had some illness for a while.
Yeah, I saw something of him that looked pretty frail. Last thing
always
I saw.
looks frail.
He always did, but this was like extra. Yeah, he looked
Yeah.
really thin, really kind of sickly.
Yeah.
So
I
maybe
think he's got a couple kids and a wife, and young kids. I think he did a documentary not long ago about him. Maybe it's on Netflix.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
It was kind of cool, and he's had the podcast, The Amazing something Gilbert, which is good. I'll always think fondly of when he came in studio, and it bums me out a little bit because he came in, and I've told the story before, but with his passing today, I can reshare it. But he's one of these guys that came in, and these guys would usually come in 20 minutes early and just kind of hang out in the office, have coffee, maybe something to eat if we had food there. Yeah. And you just sit down and bullshit with them until we'd get through a commercial break that was long or ending a segment, and then we'd bring them in and whatever. And Gilbert was one of those guys. There's a bunch of them like this that are just super quiet, super humble, super thankful, super friendly, accommodating. You know, oh, you want a picture? You sure? An autograph if you wanted that. He was super open to all that. And then you bring him in studio and you turn on the mics.
Bam.
And boom, totally different guy. Mm-hmm. Totally different. And he's Gilbert. He's like, he's not funny off the air. He's not looking to be funny off the air, but on the air, he was hysterical.
Like a character, almost.
Yeah.
That when that comes on, boom, action. It's time.
But he was a real guy telling real stories, just way more animated, just like in that mode. Yep. And it's funny, I don't know where this is, but I specifically remember there's a moment during the show, and people that listened to the Drew and Mike show that day would remember the laugh-off between Mike Clark and Gilbert Gottfried. Now, they're sitting from me to you, close, right? Drew is here, Mike Clark's here, the guest is here. And so Gilbert is sitting 2 feet from Mike Clark, and they start laughing, and honestly, two of the most iconic laughs.
Yeah, no doubt.
Ever.
Absolutely
right. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like Gilbert Gottfried starts laughing, it's Gilbert Gottfried. Yeah. Same with Mike Clark.
Absolutely.
And so these two start laughing, and they can't stop laughing. And they're just playing off each other, and it gets contagious. And the whole room is laughing. None of us even know why we're laughing. Yeah. And that's
the funny part.
And Clark is laughing harder than I've ever seen him laugh. Gilbert's falling out of his chair laughing now, and they're just laughing at each other. The shitty thing is, I was newly into the video cameras, like high-def video cameras. Like I had a Kodak one, and I had a Sony one. I had a bunch of them. I had multiple of the Kodak ones, and I'd set them up on tiny little tripods, and I videoed us. I just put a static video up in the corner and recorded us recording a Cliff Notes theater, right? So all the outtakes, everything. It's like an hour long of the whole crew in the room doing the voices, busting each other up, laughing. Yeah. I have no idea where that video is.
Oh, man.
And it's like, it's somewhere in here, somewhere. Yeah. And if I found it, people would fucking love to see one of those being recorded.
By the time you find it, there's going to be no way to play it.
Right.
Whatever tape that was on, it's going to be so obsolete.
But I guarantee you, it's just an overhead shot of the studio, and it's funny as hell. And because when we would record those things, Drew would do his Chicago black guy voice, and it made me laugh every time he did it. Clark would do some fucking prissy voice, and the room would lose it. And then we'd have to re-record it because someone stepped on the line with a laugh. And it was like every time someone had a good line, delivered a decent line, the room would lose it. And so you get to hear all of this and see all of this. Yeah. So people would love it if I could just find it. I did recently find a camera upstairs that I haven't figured out how to see what's on it. Okay. It might be on that one.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Which would be very cool. The other thing I recorded was when Gilbert Gottfried was in studio, and I set up a camera like next to Drew, just about this high off so like 6 inches off the table, shooting at Mike Clark and Gilbert Gottfried during that laugh off.
Oh, wow.
And so I might even have the commercial breaks.
No shit.
When this is going on. Yeah. Somewhere that video exists in this fucking shit show of a house.
Yeah, maybe we can start cleaning shit up. We'll come across that.
It'd be
gold.
It'd be gold.
Absolutely.
Because it's you can't help but laugh at two of the most iconic laughs ever as they go back and forth.
And there's something just absolutely hysterical. I mean, when you laugh, you're just laughing at somebody laughing, and it makes you laugh harder, and you can't. And trying to stop laughing makes you laugh harder. Yeah. You get that. You lose it again,
And Clark had that overwhelming, that giant, and it was so genuine. Yeah. It wasn't put on. It's not like Dave and Chuck when you listen to that and you go, gee, just
laughter,
canned bullshit.
Yeah. No, so pure, so funny, and to be in that moment,
yeah. It was one of the highlights, man. So I'm really sad to hear about Gilbert's passing. I didn't know he was ill. But anyway,
that's usually
one of the best, man. One of the best.
Yeah, definitely.
He's been banned from everything for jokes.
So you know you're doing it right.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what his 9/11 joke was, but he had some 9/11 joke like on September 12th, and it was, or the week after in New York, and didn't give a fuck, and delivered a 9/11 joke, and it was like, brah. I think Affleck canceled him, and he was the voice of the Affleck duck for forever. But Yeah, he never gave a shit. Always stayed true to the art and the comedy, and that's all you can ask from a guy like that.
Nice to have guys like that are genuine too, and humble and friendly,
quiet,
things like that.
Stanhope's like that. Yeah. Bob Goldthwait is like that. A lot of guys are like that, but especially those three though. I have fond memories of them coming in and just being like genuinely appreciative and humble and thankful.
Bobcat's like that, especially because he's so animated when he's on.
He's so talented too,
and just off. He's just so timid and quiet, and humble, and so opposite of what his character is.
Yeah, and persona. I think he's doing a shit ton of directing and producing that you don't know about. He's really successful and really talented. So
right on.
Yeah. So sad day in the comedy world. Anyway, we'll try to turn it around, but we just got some new reports, and I've been waiting for these, T. Okay. I knew these were coming, and I knew it would take time. I didn't know how much time, and I don't know how people defend from the facts. New report that ranks each state's response to COVID-19, the pandemic.
Okay, yeah.
So the Committee to Unleash Prosperity, CUP, has released the most comprehensive analysis to date on how states handled COVID and the crisis. These results have also been published by the National Bureau of Economic Research. The report card on the state's measures and compares state performance on three metrics: the economy, education, and mortality from the virus. So who lived and died.
Well, how do you quantify education? Like time missed of school, or like grades, or how
impact on students with school closings. It answers the question: how did states do in balancing the health of their citizens, allowing their economies to remain operational, and keeping job losses low, and keeping their schools open so that school-aged children did not suffer long-term educational setbacks?
Gotcha.
Each of these three metrics were equally weighted. The states that received an F grade, so worst possible grade.
Yeah.
New Jersey.
Okay.
New York.
Wow.
California.
Shocking.
Illinois.
Okay.
Washington, D.C.
Oh, outstanding.
What do those all have in common?
Got me there. I'm not sure.
Stumped.
Yeah.
Who could possibly know?
It's got to be, was it climate? I don't know.
No, it's not climate, but it's something about all three of the leadership in control of those states. Let's see. These states performed shit on every metric measurable.
And they've been out front the most.
Yeah. Ragging on every other state for how they were doing
exactly right.
Yeah. Wouldn't shut the fuck up, basically. Yeah. Let's see. These states performed poor on every measure. They had high age-adjusted death rates. They had high unemployment, significant GDP losses, and they kept their schools shut down much longer than all other states. The top performers: Utah, Nebraska, Vermont, Montana, and Florida.
Oh.
Wow. I could swear all we heard was how Florida was just killing everybody.
Crazy, yeah, because they just kept it open. And
they didn't shut down at all.
No.
They didn't mass mandate at all.
No.
A total of 18 states received a grade of A or B. Of the top-ranking 18 states, 16 are led by Republican governors.
Oh,
no Democrat-led state, none of the Democrat-led states appeared in the top 5. None.
Wow. That's, it's funny how you don't want to make things partisan.
No.
But they made this partisan. They did this, essentially.
Yeah.
But,
to the point where now you're walking around, you know who someone voted for based on what their face looks like.
I just hear that somebody's bringing back indoor mask mandate.
Yeah, I saw. I blew through that, but someone is. Yeah,
Maryland or something like that. Bringing back an indoor mask mandate.
Good luck with that.
Okay.
People would just blow it off.
Yeah,
they're not going to put up with it.
Yeah, I don't think people are scared anymore.
No, they're not.
Some people are.
Yeah.
Some people.
Yeah. Some people. I don't see many of them.
No.
No.
Well, I actually had to laugh yesterday. The guy, literally, we were out to dinner last night, and there's a guy sitting about 3 stools away from the exit. He was sitting at the bar, and there was literally not a single table between him and the door to get out.
Yeah.
And there was 2 empty stools at the bar.
Yeah.
And he got up, put his mask on,
and
walked out the door.
Yeah.
5 steps.
Yeah.
Out the door.
Well,
thank you for your service, sir.
He wanted to remind you who he voted for. That's all that was. He wanted to remind everybody in the restaurant who might be looking where his politics lie.
Yeah.
That's all that can be.
Yeah.
He wasn't protecting himself or anyone else.
No.
You know?
I would have much more respect for that person if they sat at the bar wearing it.
Yeah.
You know, took
it
it
off,
down.
did
the old
sip.
airport thing, take it on and off to eat and drink. Fine. If that's what you're so fucking terrified about, but to get up and walk 5 steps out the door and not, with nobody there, it's getting ready to close, you know.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you're walking through a packed restaurant, okay. You
Yeah,
know,
fine.
But you knew where you were at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You knew what the fuck you were doing. Or this is just trained. It's just Pavlovian at this fucking point.
Yeah.
Just, gotta do my business.
Do my part to save everybody.
Yep. Flatten my curve.
They say shutting down their economies and schools was by far the biggest mistake governors and state officials made during COVID, particularly in blue states. No shock there.
Oh, even worse than putting them into the nursing homes?
Those were the same states. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say the biggest? Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know where Michigan falls in that. I didn't dive into I mean, it's pages and pages. You can read it. I've kind of got a summary here of who did best and whatnot, but you can deep dive into it if you want. We hope the results of this study will persuade governors not to close schools and businesses next time we have a new virus variant. Despite the emphasis on Florida's openness versus California's restrictions, the study showed that the adjusted death rates in the 2 states from COVID-19 were nearly identical. Yeah.
Okay.
Study also offered important insight regarding states' rights. One of the wisest policy decisions was to ultimately let the 50 states and their governors and legislators make their own response policies. Federalism worked. See, the problem is Orange Mad Bad suggested that 2 years ago.
That's what made everybody go so far the other way.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Does anybody remember that? Do my liberal friends remember that?
No.
Like, I don't know. Like, if you're just being honest with yourself, this has to, like,
sting a little. Just a little.
At some point, because we were saying this 2 years ago, at least a year ago, that this was nonsense. This was so predictable, so easy to see if you followed the science at all. If you actually followed the science, this story surprises none of us. Nobody that's listening to this show is surprised by this report. It's just the first time we're getting, you know, as they go through data and they look at stuff and they look at the graphs and they can start seeing patterns. And this was so fucking obvious. And so I don't know what the point was to all this. Just power. Power-hungry people is all I can come up with, unless there's another great reason that someone wants to email and tell me how fear. Yeah,
that's it. Fear-mongering.
Did President Soup, do something amazing? We just don't know about it, and it's not showing up in the metrics.
No, just not yet. It takes time. Right?
Yeah. There were a couple comments on here I thought were decent. I'll share those with you. I don't have their names. They were all like numbers and shit. So basically, all the restrictions, forced masking, and shutdowns did absolutely nothing other than destroy small businesses and destroy people's lives. Got it. Now, who do we sue for just compensation?
Oh, you can't. That's the beauty of it.
It did absolutely what they wanted, which was put the biggest gap between the middle classes and the DC elite. True?
Can't argue that.
It infuriates me that these people are never and will never be held accountable for the poor decisions they've made and the damage they've done. Of course, that's assuming they acted in good faith out of ignorance, which is quite a stretch.
That is true. It's hard to say, making decisions on the fly. Like I excuse a lot in those first few months when nobody really knew what we were getting into, how bad it was going to get, what the real, reach of this thing was going to be.
Yeah.
But it wasn't long until you started seeing the writing on the wall, and they just dug their heels in and doubled down.
Weren't having it. They're still doing it.
They still are, exactly.
They still are. Wherever they can wield power, they are. Look at getting on transportation. When you're talking about flights, and they're still doing it to 2 to 4 year olds who were never at risk. We don't need to rehash all this. It's dumb, but this report is infuriating on so many levels because it was so obvious to anyone with half a brain who was willing to pay attention, even a little bit. You knew this, and it's still continuing today. And honestly, COVID doesn't even cross my mind during the day. No. I don't care if I'm at a packed theater, stadium for a show. No. Doesn't even cross my mind. Farthest thing from my mind.
Yeah.
It just is.
You're more likely to get the flu.
Yeah.
Probably.
Right.
And you get that all the time.
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
Inflation in the U.S. has hit a 41-year high at 8.5%.
Woo! And climbing.
No
end in sight.
Wow, that's got to sting too.
No matter how much the Fed raises interest rates.
Yep. So you mean when you just start pouring trillions of dollars into the economy and lessening the value of the U.S. dollar, you get inflation out of that?
Yeah.
Huh.
What percentage of our money's been printed in the last 5 to 10 years?
Yeah,
something like 90% or something.
It's outrageous. It's outrageous. Yeah, we spent more in the first year of COVID, I believe. Don't fact check me on this because I don't have it in front of me, but I believe we spent more than on all the world wars combined, or all the wars we've been involved in combined, going back to the Civil War, World War I, World War II. We spent more during that year on this pandemic than all the wars combined.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And now they're going to start getting it back. They're going to start fucking people for that that unemployment.
Yeah.
That they were getting. You watch. I've already heard stories about people getting that were absolutely legitimate and had every right to it.
That'll have a mutiny effect.
Let's hope. I mean, but somebody that had a salon, right? Salons were one of those things that you absolutely could not.
Yeah.
And this is a person that, a friend of a friend that, abided by every rule, absolutely shut down, did not take the money at first, kind of like Raj was saying, right? Said, no, I don't really need it. I'm okay. I'm going to ride this thing out.
Yeah.
And then I think at some point, her husband or somebody was like, that you've been paying into that. I mean, like you deserve it. You're shut down. You can't operate. And to the point where like people were like, hey, just come do it at my house. Just come do my hair. Cut my hair, whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nobody will know. Wouldn't even do that. Like followed the guidelines that far. And then finally was like, okay, and did that and went and got the money and did everything by the book. Everything was legit. And then now they send a thing saying, we don't think you should have had that money, and then sent back everything to say I don't know the exact details of it, but responded, sent everything back, going no, this was exactly what you asked for. This is everything I gave you. This is what it should be. It was a salon, like she was forced to close. Wow. They were taking people's licenses for staying open and operating and all that. Yeah, and. And
so
as
now
basically
she's tied up in that shit.
Yeah, not even like they just basically said they denied it. So she challenged it, and they denied it, and so she has to start paying this money back. Like, so she still has to go back and sue them or take it to another level.
That's outrageous.
It is, and they're going to start doing that because they want to stop eating that dick of all that money they gave out, and they're going to start getting it back, and they're going to start fucking people that absolutely deserved it to get that money back. Yeah, and that's an even bigger sin. There's enough people out there that screwed the system that they can get plenty of that money back. Well, they probably won't ever get it back, but they can at least account for how much they fucked up. Yeah. But they start taking it from people that justifiably got it, that's going to be a real problem. And it does get that mutiny effect. Yeah.
I think it will because it affected literally every person in the country. You know what I mean? Like everybody. It's not like, the poorest community, they're targeting them and they want money back, blah, 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 blah. No, you're talking about across the board. Everybody was affected. Yep. So 8.5% inflation this month, soaring gas, housing costs, so any gains you had from a higher wage, totally wiped out, gone.
You didn't get that big of a raise.
The latest data showed the price of basic necessities rising sharply, with groceries up 10% from a year ago. Rent is up, clothing is up, energy costs 32% up on energy costs.
Insane.
Soup's administration tried to get ahead of the news because they knew this report was coming, blaming who else? It's Putin's fault.
Yeah.
Jen Psaki trying desperately. Headline inflation to be extraordinarily elevated due to Putin's price hike.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's catchy. It's catching on. It's working. Keep doing that, Jen.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
State Farm commercial out of that.
Yeah.
The Putin price.
Yeah. Soup insists his policies aren't to blame. No, of course not. But he never takes blame for anything, so why would we expect him to here? Republican critics have been quick to point the finger at the administration and Democrats in Congress. Prices are up, real wages are down, families and small businesses are being left behind in Soup's economy. Democrat reckless spending and failed policies have crushed Americans. They don't seem to care. Voters do care, and they'll be sending a message in November. Yeah, it's the largest annual gain. The Labor Department said the Consumer Price Index increased 1.2% in March from the month before. It's the largest annual gain since December of 1981. Excluding volatile food and energy, prices rose 6.5% in the 12 months ending in March. So that's all soup in those months.
Yep. All of it.
Yeah. Spurred by failed monetary policy, you have to go back to the Carter administration in 1980 where this was going on. And, this is what Reagan ran on. And Reagan said inflation is as violent as a mugger, as frightening as an armed robber, and as deadly as a hitman. That's what he famously said on the campaign trail. He devoted the first 2 years of his presidency to tackling the issue. His controversial economic plan policy had 4 key pillars: reduce government spending, slash taxes, reduce regulations, and tighten the monetary supply through higher interest rates. Everyone on the left said Reagan's policies would drive prices even higher. Of course, history proved them dead fucking wrong. Inflation was back to sustainable levels in no time. So, we're just reliving that,
Soup has made an announcement for the E15 gas. You've seen that?
I don't know what that is.
It's a higher ethanol level of the gas.
Okay.
Ethanol is an additive that they put into gas because pure gas is just oil, basically. And then they put this ethanol in there, and it helps to burn it,
cleaner.
Yes, burn a little cleaner and burn more of it. So there's not as much anyway. But this will hopefully save around 10 cents a gallon, which is fucking hysterical, right? Because that's really a savings at this point.
Yeah.
But they're going to act like that's hey, look what I did for you.
Yeah.
Knock that down 10 cents. But it's a lower efficiency fuel. You're going to get less gas, miles per gallon on it.
Yeah.
And it's worse on your vehicle, on your engine.
Yeah.
So awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
Cool.
You know who will be fired up about that is Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Remember when he did a little song and dance when the price dropped 5 cents? It was up $1.
Yeah.
But, to your point that you made a couple of weeks ago about I think it was you.
Yeah, that's the move.
Yeah.
When you know it's going to go up 20 cents, you raise it 40 and then reel it back 20, and then everybody's excited that it dropped 20 instead of went up 20.
Yeah.
They're pissed off that it's 40, and then when it comes back down 20, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
But they fucking missed the whole point that they just paid an extra 20 cents.
Yeah.
But that was the goal all along.
Oh, so we're only paying an extra $2.10 a gallon now instead of an extra $2.22.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Fired up. Woohoo. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for looking out for us. I'll start seeing those tweets.
Oh, yeah.
God bless you, Mr. President, for looking out for us. Here in California, gas was $7.12 a week ago, and now it's $7.02. Thank you, Mr. President, for looking out. It's just okay, dude, whatever.
Yeah. Really hitting us where it hurts.
Boy, this is disturbing. What's going on in Alabama? Mm-hmm. Families of trans teenagers are suing the state of Alabama, which has become the first state to criminalize the use of puberty blockers and hormones to treat transgender people under the age of 19.
No way.
No.
Oh, that's an attack.
Alabama, what are you doing?
That's an attack on the alphabet community right there.
Fuck. Come on, we were just gaining momentum. We were going to have 4-year-olds cutting their dicks off in no time.
Yeah, it's going to be a rallying cry.
Now states like fucking Alabama are getting in the way.
Shutting it down.
Jesus, 2 lawsuits have posed challenges to legislation, which was signed into the laws of Bama on Friday by Governor Kay Ivey. Fuck off, Kay. Stay out of the way, Kay.
Yeah. Well, I get your sarcasm there, but the reality is it's really nice to see some governments actually stepping up and doing something about this.
I'm not being sarcastic.
I know.
I mean, I sort of am.
Yeah,
I'm being tongue-in-cheek smartass.
Yeah.
But I really mean it when I say I want
is.
all these kids to transition.
Because you almost have to.
As early as possible.
Yeah,
it's the only way out.
You almost have to, because when you start doing this, right, then it becomes a rallying cry. It becomes another bipartisan issue of it. Oh, they're
not doing it.
They're transphobes, the right, attacking the LGBTQ fuck community.
A+.
Yeah. Whatever.
No, I'm normally I would stand staunchly on the conservative take here. Like, how about you let kids be kids, and then if they're.
But the sooner we let this snowball down the fucking hill.
But no, I am team left, and for all the people that think I'm some fucking alt-right, blah blah blah, I am on your team. I want these kids transitioning now, all of them, as many as we can get, all of them now. It's the only way out. So I am taking This is an alt-left position, by the way, that I'm taking.
Yeah.
Alt-left.
Far.
I want all little kids' dicks and balls cut off, and start boring holes into between their legs. I just do. I think it's the only way I see out of this. So, I mean, I hate to take that position, but
you gotta hit rock bottom, eh?
Yeah, this is rock bottom for the nation. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I am not siding with the right on this issue. I'm just not. So, so the new law, which will take effect on May 8th, unless blocked by the courts, and fingers crossed for that, will make it a felony for a doctor to prescribe puberty blockers or hormones to aid anyone under the age of 19 who is in gender transition. The lawsuits filed by advocacy groups on behalf of families with trans children. Violations will be punishable up to 10 years in prison. Also prohibits gender transition surgeries, although doctors said those are not performed on minors in Alabama. Why not? Why not, Alabama? Roll Tide.
Yeah,
let's go.
Let's get on the board.
One of the parents, in one of the lawsuits, parents described their fears for their trans daughter, Mary Rowe. Would harm her. They're worried she would harm herself and try to commit suicide if she loses access to puberty blockers that she started taking last year. That's tragic.
Yeah.
For Mary to be forced to go through male puberty would be devastating. It would predictably result in her experiencing isolation, depression, anxiety, and distress. The ACLU said, trans youth are part of Alabama, and they deserve the same privacy, access to treatment, and data-driven health care from trained professionals as any other Alabamian. Data-driven.
Yeah, of course it is.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, the long history of examples that we have.
Sure. For Dr. Marisa Ladinsky, a medical provider and plaintiff, in one of the lawsuits, said the level of legislative overreach into the practice of medicine is unprecedented. And never before has legislative overreach come into pediatric examination rooms to shut down the parent voice in medical decision-making between a parent, the pediatrician, and their child. They never needed to before.
Yeah.
You never needed to have overreach because this clown show didn't exist. So what you're feeling, doctor, if I can call you that, is the pushback to these radical fucking deals. That's what it is. I know that I am a girl, and I always have been, one of the 15-year-olds said in the statement. Good enough for me. Yeah. Off with your dick, sir, ma'am. Off with your dick now.
Damn.
I pray, it's rare, but I pray you're not one of the ones that shits out your vagine.
Yeah.
I pray you're not. I mean, that would be tragic. That would stink.
Yeah, it would stink.
Yeah, and make going down on you very difficult. Germans might like it, but I do not.
Is that their thing?
I think there's some hardcore German porn.
Chocolate cake?
Yeah. Right. And I don't want to disparage all Germans, of which I am one, so I can. But is it Japanese porn? It's into vomit and stuff.
Some kinky shit.
Yeah, there's some wild shit.
Yeah.
Not that we don't have our own wild shit here.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, they're leaning on God and any of this stuff. So I'm sorry. The governor Kay.
Yeah.
Put this through is like if the good Lord made you a boy at birth and you were a boy, if the good Lord made you a girl at birth and you were a girl, we should focus our efforts on helping these young people become healthy adults just like God wanted them to be, rather than self-induced medical interveners. Yeah, and lastly, does the law do anything else? Yes, the law requires counselors, teachers, principals, and other admins in both public and private schools to tell parents if a child discloses they think they might be transgender. It also prohibits school staff from encouraging students to withhold information from their parents. What on earth do the parents have to do with this?
I know. It's none of their fucking business.
Stay out. This is between the kid and their blue-haired counselor.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. The fuck is the parents' involvement in this for at all?
Yeah.
No, we hide stuff from the parents.
Yeah, till
it's
too
the
late.
only healthy thing to do for these clearly advanced children.
Yeah.
Only thing to do. I am sorry, school systems, that you're having to deal with this.
That counselor is going to be responsible for that kid for a long, long time.
Right.
At least a school year.
Yeah.
At least a semester.
That's over 200 days.
Yeah, that's a pretty hefty responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't take that lightly.
No.
These are their kids,
They are.
Yeah.
And who else are they going to...
Can't wait to say that.
Who else are they going to discuss their weekend leisure activities with their husband to?
Yeah.
If they can't talk to their student body about it.
True. Exactly.
I mean, kindergartners are dying to know what you and your husband did. You you, sir, and your husband did over the weekend?
Obviously.
You went canoeing? Nothing is more important to a fucking 5-year-old.
Nope.
Because they care a lot about what you're telling them.
They don't even fucking comprehend.
No, they don't.
At all.
No.
But you keep shoving it in there, you're planting that seed.
Dude, you ever sit down with a 5-year-old and try to tell them a story? I know you have. I don't know if you remember it, but it is the most, when you're just trying to get a simple point across, they're not having it. They're like, la, 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 me, 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 me,
Yeah.
me, me, me,
Brain
me,
doesn't
me.
work that way.
Me, 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 but oh yeah, 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 but me, 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 I, me, me, me. That's what a kid's doing. So if you think Donald, that you're going to talk about your and Lance's weekend boating, canoeing to your kindergarten classroom, they don't give a fuck.
No.
You're talking to hear yourself talk.
Ain't that the truth? Aren't they all?
Yeah.
Isn't that really what it boils down to?
I don't know. I went paddleboarding with David this weekend, and I can't even discuss this with kids now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to hear it anyways, dude. They don't want to hear it. Ridiculous.
Hey, insurance. We all need it, and most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who provides it. Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasick from Wasick Insurance Services change all that. Brent has over 30 years in the business and offers all types of insurance coverage. Auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. Call Brent Wasick at 734-455-1900 and get a free no-obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900 and ask for Brent Wasick at Wasick Insurance.
I love me some Wasicks.
Yeah.
Tara,
Are they
and
back?
Brent.
Are they still on their private island?
I think he's still in Russia. He might be back. Yeah, they're on an island somewhere. It was her birthday. I just got a note saying the camera's not on you. Is that true?
Fuck, I don't know. I thought I fixed that.
Maybe you did, and that message came in earlier. It could be. I just looked at my phone while you were.
Oh, no. Yeah, I am really fucking killing it today. Good Lord. Oh, no, you know what? It's because, see, it's fucking Travis. That's what this shit is.
What did Travis do now?
He
God
just
damn
had
it, Genius
he had
Light.
Yeah, fucking guy. He switches the shit around. So this camera, this wasn't even an option.
Yeah.
This one. So when I went to what I thought was you in an empty chair was actually that one.
Oh.
So I've been sitting there. Yeah, so it was the other fucking camera. Because he switches the little boxes around. Remember when we said that something would be fucked up after he left here?
Genius Light.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do.
Yeah. So this camera situation was not even an option on the screen that I had. So in my haste, I went, oh, there's Mike in the empty chair. Boom, I'll hit that one.
Yeah.
So whoever that was, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because now you can see my shirt, my merch.
Yeah, it looks good. I hope
my
it shows.
titties.
I hope it shows up in the camera.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that reflection does. Does it pop?
It looks great in person, though. It might not in a lit studio like this.
Yeah.
We're not super zoomed in, but
it does. It does look really great.
yeah, I think I am really happy with it. Fifth graders in New Jersey are to be taught. This is a proposed school lessons for K through 12.
Okay.
Could be taught puberty blockers are an acceptable way to manage adolescence, and also the school wants to let these kids know that jacking it a few times a day is a healthy way to relieve stress.
Healthy?
Healthy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not.
But don't you think that most people like that figure that shit out?
Yeah.
Do I need fucking my fifth grade teacher
No.
explaining jacking off to me?
Well, you got to clean the pipes out, you know.
Yeah. We figured that out on our own.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You can tell them because the church is going to tell them they might go blind or something.
Absolutely right.
But you can tell them that's nonsense and masturbation is completely normal. Now, let's get on to today's lesson.
Yeah.
You know, that seems fine.
No, they're gonna drive that point home.
Yeah, with little cartoonish videos. And who didn't like those in the classroom? The new sample lesson plans, some of which are accompanied by animated videos, are part of a broader health and sex education curriculum adopted by the Jersey Board of Education. So they're now being reviewed by individual school districts in the state, and one lesson plan aimed at fifth graders entitled, It's All About the Hormones. Students are instructed to watch a video called Puberty and Transgender Youth. Really, that's what your lead off is?
Yeah.
We're leading off with
Jumping off
transgender
point
youth.
right there.
Yeah. Whether you identify as male, female, gender queer, or something else, you're perfectly normal. And there are lots of ways to manage puberty so that it can be fun, exciting time rather than a scary or stressful one. If you feel you want more time to explore how you feel about your gender before your body starts to change, it's important to talk with a counselor, therapist, doctor, parent about the feelings you have regarding your gender. After some discussion, you may be referred to an endocrinologist. Yay! Going to the endocrinologist. Just going to the doctor in 5th grade.
Oh, my God.
They specialize in hormones, and they're most likely to prescribe puberty blockers for someone who wants them. So let's ask the 9-year-old.
Yeah. You want this? This what you want? Yay!
Yay! Everybody gets excited that I'm on puberty blockers. Everyone talks to me in class.
Yep.
Because that's what's important in life.
Oh, they're making such a big deal out of it that it's getting to the point where just being a straight cis, person is going to make you feel like you're the weirdo.
Yeah.
Like that's wrong.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
you're
going
definitely
to go out and seek, the attention that everybody else is getting. Because you're just a boring old straighty.
Yeah. Loser. This guy probably only fucks chicks. What an asshole. Puberty blockers are medications that will stop your body from changing.
Good.
That's great. More. In another example, aimed at 5th graders, the video titled "Masturbation Totally Normal."
Okay.
Children tells children that jacking off a few times a day is a physically safe way to express sexual feelings. The video sees a boy taking off his pants and then getting under the sheets before grabbing a tissue.
Holy shit! Really? This is 5th grade.
5th grade. Yeah.
Okay.
Another video aimed at girls also promotes self-gratification as a way to relieve stress. Depicts a girl using a handheld mirror to examine herself.
Oh, got to get up in there and see that.
Yeah, really spread your wings, ladies. 5th graders are treated to another video called "What is Love Anyways?", which tackles the subject of sexual orientations. While many people know their sexual orientation at a young age, it's also common at this age to feel confused about your thoughts and feelings regarding who you find attractive. No. I remember vividly being in 5th grade and not having those feelings at all about who I was attracted to.
No.
There was something different about girls, and you treated them like they had cooties.
Yeah.
Like that's as simple as it was.
Okay.
I mean, for me,
yeah,
I didn't look
different.
Everyone's different.
Yeah, I mean,
sure,
I wasn't banging in 5th grade, but I was into the ladies.
You were working your game. Yeah. So was I, but I was too shy to fucking do anything about it.
Yeah.
I was too
shy.
Just saying,
so you have those feelings. I mean, it's not like it's completely out of the question that you're starting to have those feelings. At that point.
It's more of like a 7th grade thing.
But it was more. Yeah, it wasn't really I wasn't like, I want to fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
Right? I want to get all up in that vag.
I'm going to get my dick wet.
It was just that I knew like she was cute and I was smitten and, I had a girlfriend in, like 3rd grade or whatever, like girlfriend.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Dude, my favorite was my sister had the class photo of Reed's 2nd grade class or 1st grade class.
Yeah.
And so all the students there, and my sister goes, "Guess which girl is the most popular with the boys?" And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, yeah. Okay.
Now you know.
Okay, yeah. Top left, blonde. And she's like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
the one blonde in there.
The only blonde in there. Tall,
beautiful,
thin, beautiful. You can tell she's going to be a knockout. Yeah. It's like, all the boys are already crushing on her. Exactly. And that's in 2nd grade. Yeah. So I guess, they wouldn't even know what to do.
No, they wouldn't know where to put it.
What is love anyways? While many people know their orientation, it's common to feel confused. In fact, you may find yourself thinking about people of the same sex and of the opposite sex and be unsure. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It feels like there's a momentum, a push.
A bit of an agenda behind this, you think?
Yes. It doesn't feel natural.
Ulterior motives, perhaps?
Yes. It doesn't feel like an issue that was so glaring that needed to be addressed.
Yeah. Create the problem so that you can attempt to solve it.
Right. I just think with all of this, the trans is the key to everything.
Yeah.
We got to start lopping toddler dicks off. We just do.
Yeah.
It's the only
tip the scales.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we keep tiptoeing into it, it's going to take too long to straighten this fucking thing out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to dive in head first.
Yeah. We're getting pushed for gun and magazine bans.
Oh yeah.
From the Soup administration.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can't believe Soup is going down this road. I really am surprised.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. He's renewed his push to ban semi-automatic long guns in a speech that, and he was just screaming. Looked like an old man yelling at clouds. It was fucking wild.
Yep. Ranting.
Yeah, we need Congress to pass universal background checks. Universal background checks, and I know it's controversial, but I got it done once. Ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. He then suggests people don't need high-capacity magazines for recreation use because deer do not wear Kevlar vests.
Okay. Yeah. That's it's not the same thing.
Okay, the Second Amendment was never written about recreational purposes.
for hunting?
Yeah, no, that wasn't the point of the Second Amendment. It was made for defense against tyranny.
Yep.
Like that, government tyranny, government overreach, well-armed militia. That was the point, not about, yeah, we all understand deer don't wear Kevlar, asshole.
No.
It's not the point of it.
No.
Then the event was primarily focused on the administration issuing a final rule to curb the proliferation of so-called ghost guns, which are privately made firearms that do not have serial numbers, thus do not require a background check to obtain key components needed to build the firearm.
Yeah, you can just buy pieces and put it together yourself, essentially.
One guy says, and when he said deer don't wear bulletproof vests, I laughed and said, but government agents do. Why do Democrats keep forgetting the Second Amendment exists solely to fight tyranny here at home?
Yeah.
High capacity armor piercing setups are the very thing the founding fathers would have advised you need to have.
Can't you 3D print a Glock?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. And I'm all for background checks. Listen, if you're a fucking piece of shit, then fine. You shouldn't legally be able to have a firearm if you can be proven that you're a danger to society.
Yeah.
The problem is that in how many of these instances are these legal guns?
Never.
That this
Almost
is happening.
never.
Almost never. Sometimes, but
sure.
And that's when somebody slipped through the cracks. They were red flags, so maybe the background checks, aren't thorough enough. So those are ones you can get.
Yeah.
But the real crime, it's not done with legal fucking guns. They're not registered to these fucking people.
They're buying them in alleys.
Yeah.
They're robbing stores and stealing them.
Yeah.
And the reason I say I'm surprised Soup is going down this road because this was a subset, the weapons ban on the 94 crime bill, which he engineered.
Yep.
Right? Which has had such horrible results.
He said he did it once.
Yeah.
He was proud of it.
And there was a caveat in that 94 provision of the ban on assault rifles. It's a made-up word. It's a rifle.
Yep.
There was a provision that said it expired after 10 years unless Congress could reenact the law. Well, in that 10 years, Republicans took over, and that never passed. And many, 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 many studies have come out on the crime bill and the ban on assault weapons, and it found that rule had almost zero effect on the country as a whole.
Yeah.
And so it was just done away with. So he's bragging, I did it once, I can do it again.
Good job, Joe.
Yeah, nice job, fuckface. He didn't do anything. All your 94 crime bill did, which I support, by the way, I'm sorry. Crime was going crazy. Crack was an epidemic. Yep. That's why it was classified the way it was. They weren't worried about cokeheads in Manhattan. Yeah. So, crack was killing entire neighborhoods. And so it was like, get these fucking crack dealers off the streets. They're killing people. Unfortunately, it was disproportionate to those inner city neighborhoods, and it took fathers out of homes and sons and put them in jail for long periods of time. Joe Biden famously bragged on the campaign trail, because he was trying to prove they were tough on crime at the time, that this new bill is so harsh. We essentially we're getting close to hanging someone for jaywalking.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Joe.
Biden. That was a Biden quote.
Wow.
At the time.
Yeah.
And so he fucking bragged about this. He wanted to be hard on crime.
Perhaps?
Yeah, right?
Oh, Joe.
Yeah, he's talking about lynching.
Good thing it was still legal then.
So, yeah, let me get his quote exactly right. At the time, Biden defended the legislation against charges of weakness. So people were like, this is fucking weak, dude. By saying, we do everything but hang people for jaywalking in this bill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
He, let's see. So it was known as the sunset provision that expired after 10 years. So, yeah, it would automatically, unless renewed by a vote of Congress. And I explained why it didn't work. Today, we look back at 10 years of the ban and 15 years since its expiration. Critics argue that it violated Second Amendment rights while accomplishing little. And evidence suggests it did not do much to reduce the incidence of gun violence overall. So, yeah. So keep running on that, I guess.
Yep.
You know?
Did it once, I can do it again.
Do it again.
Attaboy. There you go. Hey. Does your money work as hard as you do? You're going to spend upwards of 45 years working to support your lifestyle, provide for your family, and set aside money for retirement. Do you know if you're going to be able to retire on your terms? How could you if you don't have a plan? Let Mark and Jay at LPL Financial help make sure your money is working as hard as you are. Call them today at 248-626-2000.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Call them. They'll help you.
Absolutely.
Help you with your money, I promise you.
You need more of it these days, that's for sure.
Yep. A lot more of it.
Yeah.
Seattle's police department is so weak.
Are they defunded?
Oh, yeah. 2 years in a row, they've been defunded. Thanks to policies of its city council that it is no longer investigating reports of sexual assault. This from an internal document. Internal
fuck?
report. Yeah.
Really?
Nah.
So if you want to do some raping, just head out to
Have at
Seattle?
it. They're not even fucking following up to call you back.
All right. Duly noted.
2 members of the police force provided documentation to KUOW showing that last month not a single sexual assault case involving an adult victim was assigned to a detective.
Jesus Christ. No.
Not one in Seattle.
Wow. Yeah. Holy shit.
The Seattle Police Department's sexual assault unit is not at all investigating adult sexual assault reports or cases unless there was an arrest.
Unless there was an arrest.
Yeah.
So, like if you got caught in the act, or how did they get to the arrest?
Yeah, how did they get to the arrest?
The cop just happened to be walking by as you were deep dicking some chick in the alley?
Yeah.
She's screaming for help? Oh, wow.
All right.
Got another one.
In the city of 750,000 people, 16% of officers are on leave. Others have left permanently. Between January 2020 and December 21, at least 339 officers retired or resigned. The failure to investigate sex assault cases is a new development. The problems within Seattle's policing community have been brewing for several years. In September 2020, Carmen Best, the widely respected then chief of Seattle Police, resigned hours after City Council made good on its promise to approve sweeping proposals that would cut about 100 officers and slash the department's budget. Oh. The 21 police budget was reduced by nearly $35.6 million. And then the next year it was cut again. In November 21, the city voted 8-1 for a 2022 city budget cut, police funding by more than $7 million. Critics said the strong message of defund the police was a powerful deterrent. Oh, by the way, in that 8-1 vote, the one that voted against it, the reason that she voted against it was because she wanted to slash the departments by 50%.
Oh,
yeah.
She didn't vote for the $7 billion. She wanted to. Okay.
She wanted to do away with the police.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so that's why there was
it
one.
Was essentially unanimous.
Yes. Angelica Cesaro from Decriminalize Seattle said, I want to live in a city equipped to address the current and coming crises without resorting to armed cops to protect the rich at the expense of the poor. You voted for it, Seattle?
Yeah.
You fucking eat it.
Do Portland next. Portland next.
Oh, San Francisco, please. Can you put them on the list next?
Oh, jeez.
This is why we demanded a solidarity budget and why we celebrate every penny that leaves harmful police practices and goes towards building a Seattle where we can all survive and thrive.
Survive and thrive.
Yeah.
As long as you can avoid the rapings.
Yeah. And so they're bragging. Our cross-movement coalition helped us secure a defund of Seattle police 2 years in a row, and we'll be back for more next year.
Okay.
Yeah. Good luck. Crime's through the roof, by the way.
Yeah.
Just saying. So, and who you're helping, I don't know. It's mostly disproportionately affecting the communities that police tend to be policing the most, which are the trouble spots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. It's a vicious cycle. Yeah. Right. They're in those areas because they're the heaviest in crime. And now you're taking them out of the areas, and I think they're just going to be like, all right, cool, cops aren't here anymore. We don't have to fucking rob and steal and rape and kill.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that now. We were doing it because of these cops.
Because the cops are here keeping an eye on things.
Yeah.
So,
now they can just get away with it.
Think about the 75-year-old woman.
How much is just going unreported now, too? With
shit tons, because they know it's a waste of time. Exactly. And that's part of it, too.
Right.
That's part of the problem.
Yeah, what are the real fucking numbers of this?
Yeah. And that's a great point you bring up, because that's been talked about. Like, the fact that, if you make repeated calls to the police and they don't even show up or call you back, you're going to stop fucking calling.
What's the point?
And if you know, when they're saying stuff like, we're only coming to investigate for crimes over $900 in theft. Yeah. It's like, so now I'm going to fucking report that my moped was stolen? What's the point? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just laughable. So to your point,
it's a vicious cycle.
People will just stop calling them.
You're exactly right. And then that'll make their crime rates look like they're going down.
Yeah. Jordan Walker, legal advocate with the King County Sexual Assault Research Center, said that the psychological impact of the delays was significant. So vulnerable crime victims who desperately want and need help from Seattle's police department are being put on hold.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you someday. So the delays are significant. When the front door into a criminal case, into someone hearing your story, someone looking into your story, when that door's locked and you can't even get in, the whole system can feel disenfranchised.
Fuck yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine being in that. I can't even imagine being in that type of society, let alone rooting for it, supporting it.
Yeah.
It's how do they think that this is beneficial? Because Black Lives Matter? Because the police are the tyrants?
Yeah.
That they're the problem, and that somehow making them go away or it be less effective is going to help.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. I understand it's a tricky situation, because as a former police officer, as you remember, with Redford Police, I went on a ride along, so same thing basically. I went out yesterday for a little bit, and I passed our cop on Franklin Road going to and from 13 Mile. I was going that way too, and I passed another cop, and both times I waved.
Yep.
And they waved back.
Yep.
As I passed them.
Every time. I do that too. Make sure you recognize my car, boys.
Yeah. When I was a cop on the beat in Redford for that day, my partner, Mike, was saying, dude, when we turn this corner, there's going to be a usual pack of kids there, and just heads up. And we take the corner, and there's 6 fucking young 13, 12-year-old black kids. Mm-hmm. And they're just like this, both double middle fingers up as we drive by.
Yeah.
That's the reality. Now, this cop couldn't be fairer or nicer.
Yeah.
But is totally willing to build relationships with community members. It helps him. It helps protect his officers.
Obviously, he stopped and got out of the car and chased them down and bludgeoned them with his club, right?
No, he waved
Tased
at them. He waved at them, and they yelled, "Fuck you," and middle fingered him.
Okay.
And I'm, that's what I said. I was like, why don't we get out? I'll take your taser. You take your shotgun. Let's fucking go to town.
Let's get some. Let's go get some.
Let's go fucking ham on the, you know what I mean? Let's go jit out here. And he's like, no, you can't do that.
Not how we do it.
What the fuck kind of police force am I working for?
Yeah.
It's outrageous.
Pussies. Fucking pussies.
Outrageous.
Soft.
He flipped us off. Let's go fucking take half his head off. Yeah. What's the matter with you?
That's got to be assaulting an officer.
I felt assaulted.
Yeah.
Violated. Yeah, absolutely. It was rude, disrespectful.
Flipped that bird right at me.
Yeah.
Almost hit me.
So that's what you're dealing with. One side of, within a 10-mile stretch, you could have one group of community members waving at their police officers and thanking them at every turn.
Yep.
And one, they're not interested in hearing your side of the story. Fuck off. And so where do we go from here? Mm-hmm. I don't know how you turn that around. I honestly don't.
Rock bottom. It's like everything else. I mean, it's going to have to get so bad that you're going to have to, change all the policies. You're going to have to undo all the shit you just fucked.
Yeah.
You have to unfuck the system.
Yeah.
You're going to have to put all these policies back in place. You're going to have to start refunding these police departments.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to end well. There's no fucking scenario where it ends well.
No.
Period.
Mental health is such a problem. Do you know there's an active shooter right now in New York?
Yeah.
On the subway, apparently this morning, some guy.
Well, I knew there was a shooting. I knew he was at large, but it's still technically, is he still like out popping people like randomly?
I don't know. No, but the fact that they haven't caught him or don't have a suspect or anything makes them say he's still at large and dangerous.
Well, I mean, of course, but that's Yeah, wasn't there a bomb I heard too or something?
Not bombs. No, he had smoke bombs.
Oh.
And so it creates mass confusion. You're hearing gunshots. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
People are freaking the fuck out.
I saw it like, well, whatever. Reports get all sketchy and shit when they first coming out for details.
I saw one of the reporters and it was like
an undetonated something explosive device.
Yeah, it turns out they were smoke bombs.
Okay.
Yeah. But planned and advanced.
Yeah.
Could have been multiple people. We don't know. One of the reporters was like, as always, this is developing stories and the facts change quite a bit. I'm like,
Oh, no. Actually, facts don't change at all.
Yeah.
Speculation changes quite a bit.
Yeah.
But facts, once you get them and they're confirmed, generally don't.
Yeah. Facts are just that. So by definition, they don't change.
Yeah.
You wanted to be first to report, there's 10 wounded and 5 in critical.
Yeah.
Just because some guy slipped you a note
Yep.
and you don't have time to fucking wait for the actual facts. Remember those things?
Yep.
Facts. Well, facts change a lot in developing stories. No, they don't.
Yeah. The old days when the reporters would all like run to the telephone booths and all
Yeah.
had to get in to call in to get in.
Yeah. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
There's 10 dead, see? Unreported. 5 in critical condition, see? Yeah, it was breaking news on the 6 o'clock news. You had to hit that deadline.
Right? Had to get it out so they get it in the morning paper.
Yeah. Yeah. Got a deadline, see?
Yeah.
Got to get this in the Morning Gazette. Mark Zuckerberg and his nonprofit group, which tampered in the election of 2020. This is what a lot of people point to, and it's undeniable. I've watched documentaries on this, and it's pretty clear how easy it is to fuck with elections, especially when you are wildly fucking rich.
Follow the money.
Follow the money, and that's
always.
what people have done. So he distributed, I heard, $412 million to key battleground states. Now, the nonprofit, so how does Zuckerberg and his wife, Priscilla Chan, I think, how do they do that and act like they're nonpartisan? Well, they go, we gave $10,000 to this Republican arm over here so that they can have voter protection and safety from COVID. It was all under the guise of COVID safety.
Yeah.
So we gave 10,000 to that Republican group over there, and then we gave 1.5 million to Milwaukee. We gave 1 million to this super Democrat place, like in
Georgia.
Only battleground states.
Yeah.
So you're talking about Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona.
Yep.
And you can see where the targets are and how they'd sprinkle in a few pennies in Republican areas so they could remain bipartisan, and then fucking power hungry to the tune of $410 million into these. And it was all about COVID. Oh, we got to protect from COVID. So you weren't interested in protecting 50 states from COVID.
No, just certain areas.
Just 7.
Yeah.
Just 7. And you weren't, so it was basically a get out the vote initiative. So they would hit these neighborhoods really, really hard where they knew they had a stronghold, Democratic stronghold.
Yep.
And so they had people going out and collecting votes. They had people constantly getting the vote out, which works. And it tipped the scales just enough. It took $412 million, but it put him over. And when you see the return on normal Democratic communities that did not get that kind of funding versus these ones that did, the rate of return on that dollars is fucking indescribable.
Yeah.
Through the roof. There's no question at all that that's what affected those key battleground states.
Well, you answer your own question on why to keep this COVID thing going.
Yeah.
Because it's a coverall.
They claimed it was all about PPE, right? Personal protection stuff. So gloves and sanitizer and masks so people can feel safe in voting lines. And, we've got to get mailboxes out there to collect votes and a ballot harvest, all that kind of shit. So in their own disclosures in tax filings, they showed what the money went to. This is a graph.
Yeah.
The PPE makes up the tiniest fucking sliver of everything they did. The tiniest sliver. So now the nonprofit that distributed these donations from Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, as they call him Zuckbucks, he said that they will not disperse similar donations this year after backlash from people that are suspicious that the contributions tilted the outcome of the race towards soup.
Well, why don't we balance that out and then do them on the primarily Republican side?
Yeah,
and
no.
see if that does anything. No, and then,
But-
then it would actually be even because it just stopped now. The scales were already tipped.
Yeah. Well, I would say, why are you backing away from this, Zuckerberg?
If it was fine.
If it was fine, if everything was on the up and up and legit.
Yeah.
You know, if you honestly weren't trying to steal an election.
We were trying to do good, but there's so much backlash that it's just not worth our time and energy.
Right.
And to defend it.
So instead, the Center for Technology and Civic Life, CTCL, announced on Monday is launching a different program dubbed the U.S. Alliance for Election Excellence. How about you stay the fuck out of the elections, Zuckerberg?
That'd be nice.
You fucking lizard.
Yeah.
You fucking lizard. The $80 million 5-year effort is aimed to create a network for the nation's thousands of local election officials who can apply for aid to improve their tech and processes. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, don't be fooled by this story, okay? Zuckerberg is going to pay. They're just going to go third party around this. It's not going to come directly out of there.
They thought they could get away with it just by going through the nonprofit.
Yeah, bull in the china shop.
And they got their PP slapped.
Yeah.
So now they're just going to have to bury the money a little bit farther.
Yeah.
But it'll still go.
Of course.
It'll still go.
You think they're going to take a knee on this? No.
No, of course not. They have too much vested.
Yeah, it's just so, I don't know. I read that headline at first. I was like, oh, that's cool. Someone got to him maybe and said, this is so egregious, you can't. And so it's like, oh, yeah, we'll do better. We'll not do that again.
Sure.
But now they've got other programs popping up, and they'll find a way. And we'll find out a year too late what happened, and nobody will be held responsible.
It'll be too late. Exactly. It'll be a byline,
Yeah.
and nothing will happen.
Yep.
Did you you got anything on your boy Elon?
What about him?
That he turned down that seat?
Oh, yeah, we talked about that, didn't we?
I don't think so. Did he turn down the seat? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that was whatever. I think that happened Friday.
Was it?
He
Okay.
didn't do anything with it yesterday.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. It's very interesting.
It is. He turned down the board seat at Twitter is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So how this went was what? What? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Put it away.
I'm sorry I did that to you. My bad. I almost made T puke. Sorry. So the gist of the story is, in case you're not paying that much attention to the Twitter buy, he bought up 9.2% of Twitter stock for a roughly $3 billion.
Yep.
And
was offered a
board seat.
Yep.
Which seems powerful. Part of that deal came with, in the deal was, as long as he was a board member, he could not exceed 14.9% of the company. So he couldn't just go drop another couple billion and take 20% of the company. Yep. He couldn't do that for the 2 years term of the board seat, and then for another 3 months after that, 90 days.
He also couldn't discuss openly, publicly,
Right.
Any of the Twitter doings.
Yeah.
Whatever. Not necessarily behind the scenes stuff, but he wasn't allowed to openly speak of their activities.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I think that's kind of my whole point.
Yeah. And so he said, no thank. So it would have kept him at bay at least for a couple of years of really. So if he really wanted to go and stir shit up, he could just go buy more. I got into a discussion with Ed about this. And Ed saying, he'd have to dump a ton of his shares. I'm like, if it costs, he's worth $275 billion. Yeah. If it cost him $3 billion to buy 10% of Twitter, what's to stop him from spending another $10 billion, whatever it would be, and just buy the rest of it?
Yep.
And own 90% of it.
Yeah. Go spend $30 billion.
And he said to do that, he would have to sell off Tesla stock, which would devalue the stock there. As a board member, he has to
liquidate.
But he's got a responsibility to the board to not do anything to harm it.
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, why couldn't he just do it slowly over the next couple of years? Take $3 billion here, $2 billion there, nothing that would crash shit.
Yeah.
But then he's doing this, and he said,
he has this money liquid because he had to sell those stocks or whatever.
Right. But if you did it slowly over a year, once a month, you're taking $500 million out, whatever it is, and liquidating, it doesn't crash anything. It seems reasonable if you wanted to do that, or slow roll it over the next 2 years, and before you know it, boom, he owns Twitter and fucking Tesla. And he said, well, he sits on the board at Tesla. It would be a conflict to be on the board I go, dude, lots of people are on multiple boards.
I would think so, yeah.
Tons of people. I know doctors that are on multiple boards.
But that may not be the same.
I said, okay, fine. Say there's issues that taking this position is beneficial to Tesla but not to Twitter, or reverse. This decision is beneficial to Twitter but not to Tesla. I said, in those rare instances, he can recuse.
Yeah.
wouldn't that work? And I actually stumped him. He goes, I don't know. I don't know, maybe. But if we haven't talked about this, I should mention, and maybe I thought.
Well, I mean, what if there's a conflict between Tesla and SpaceX? I mean, he's fucking owns both companies.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It's not like it's unheard of or anything that's never been happened before. It's not in the exact same situation right now. So it's just an odd example to use. Well, what if something's not going to be good for Twitter? Okay, well, then you make what the fucking best decision overall. It happens. It's just life.
Yeah, I would think, but I don't know enough about this.
No, but I think there's a lot more coming.
But I do too.
I think they talk about a hostile takeover in a way.
And all these people that are like, I'm going to quit.
Okay.
Good. Bye.
That's you're part of the problem.
You are the problem.
Yeah.
Not part of it. You are the problem.
If this person wants to take this over to, fucking bring back free speech, then you're the problem. If that's a quittable offense to you, you're the problem.
Bye.
Yeah.
Do you know how fast you would be able to fill those 12 fucking seats that you lost?
Yeah, right.
And I don't mean board seats. I mean 12 fucking desk workers who are sitting.
Those cubicles.
The cubicle workers that are constantly fucking looking for ways to ban people for hate speech. This person called Lizzo fat. How dare you? She's gorgeous. Banned for life.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to Ed, though. Ed's been working at the Tesla plant down in Austin, Texas. And he said, man, it was so funny. He said, one day we're sitting there and it was weird fucking vibe. He said, there's this giant conference room with tables and Elon's the only one in there. And he's sitting there looking at a giant computer screen and no one's going near him. But he said, he's fairly approachable. People talk to him and he talks back with people. You don't want to bother him for a picture and shit like that. Sure. Obviously, it's work. But he said for hours, he's just sitting in this conference room by himself, staring at the screen. And everyone's like, I'm not going in there. I'm not going near that. And Ed's like, I'm just kind of backing out. I'm not. And it was like within hours. The next morning, they learned he'd fucking bought 9% of Twitter.
Oh, that was going on right there.
Ed was sitting there watching him like, what the fuck is he doing? And whatever he was studying was the next morning that it was announced that he bought up.
You think he'd just have an office in every building that
he said he doesn't even have an office there.
So,
I mean, they're building shit.
You can just use the fucking conference room, I guess. But
yeah,
if that's my shit, I'm going to put fucking my own office in everywhere.
Hell
so whenever I stop by, I got a place to go.
Hell yeah.
With my own private shitter. Speaking of...
Oh, God. This, you know what? I don't even want to do the story.
No, I'm good with it, man. I'm good with it.
Because at this point, she's just trolling us. This is a troll.
Yeah, I know. I saw it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I want to bite.
And in all honesty, that's the least fat I've seen her look.
Yeah.
This is Lizzo walking up. I wish she would fall up the stairs like fucking Soup did. She's walking up onto a plane with her ass hanging out.
What kind of plane? Is that a Delta flight?
No, it is a private jet.
Oh.
It's a private jet. Lizzo bears almost all as she boards a private jet in shapewear from her new Yiddy line. You spelled disgusting wrong. And the way that thing is up her fucking crack, it's more like the shitty line.
Yeah, that is.
Oof.
Oh, imagine what that thing stinks like. That is.
Oh my God, it is holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
It's at the top and bottom, just going.
Oh, Jesus, we're breached. Yeah, this is a troll at this point, hoping for people like us to go, fuck, this is not hot.
Yeah.
I'm not biting.
Good.
Not biting.
Good. I think she's beautiful.
Disturbing reports come. We haven't talked about Russia and Ukraine.
Been a minute.
It's been a minute, and we'll get Jenny in here again soon. I tell you, man, I watch a lot of stuff, and I hate to say there's two sides to every story.
Yeah. Because there's always three.
Yeah, I know, but there's, it's hard because I know there are multiple sides to this story, and it's not quite as clear cut.
Yeah.
It sounds horrible.
Oh, I mean,
Putin's always been a monster, but
yep.
I didn't understand the level of provocation that Russia felt if Ukraine got into the UN, and by even suggesting that was a threat to Russia, a clear-cut threat.
But fuck them.
Yeah, you can say that, but since 1990, this has been the position, that there is a red line that you can't go 1 inch east of this spot, UN. And they went, okay, we'll sign that. And then they proceeded to go fucking way further east and gobbling up countries to join the UN. I'm just saying, there's, it's awful. And I'm going to give you some horrible descriptions about what's going on the ground there.
Yeah.
And it has to deal with rapes. Apparently, this is a war tactic Russia is using. So they've been carrying out, according to Zelensky, hundreds of rapes, the Russians, and sexual assaults of small children.
Yep.
Putin's band of thugs have been linked to a string of horrific atrocities across Ukraine, brutal rape, murder of women and children, often in front of their own family members. Hundreds of cases have been recorded, including those of young girls and very young children, even a baby. Katerina Cherepaka, president of La Strada, Ukraine, said her organization's emergency hotline received calls accusing Russian soldiers of 9 cases of rape, including 12 women and girls. This is the tip of the iceberg.
Wait, 9 cases with 12 women and girls?
Yeah. So a couple of them got 2?
Well, no. Oh, yeah. Well, no. How do you get 9 rapes out of 12 girls? Did 3 of them not get the raping?
Well, 9 cases of rape involving 12 women and girls.
Okay. Did they get 2 in 1 shot?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, but still, I don't know. All right, I'm just questioning the math.
Yeah,
here.
I know it stuck out to me too.
Yeah, that's like fucking 5 kids from 6 different baby daddies.
How bad would this be?
Or the other way, I said the wrong way.
Yeah, it's all right. I knew what you meant. An 11-year-old boy is among the victims after he was raped by Russian troops in front of his mother, who was tied to a chair and forced to watch.
Unbelievable. No, fucking animals. Yeah, I mean you want to just talk about war crimes?
Yeah,
it's one thing if you're going to do the war. I mean, not that war is ever civil. What's so civil about war anyway?
Right.
But
what we have here is a failure to communicate.
But there's rules of engagement and of how to at least handle yourself in a respectable manner. I mean, all's fair in love and war, as they say, but I mean that's just fucking above and beyond.
They also claimed 5 soldiers in Putin's army raped a 14-year-old girl who's now pregnant. April 16th, 16-year-old girl and a 78-year-old woman were raped.
Wonder what's their abortion policy over there in the Ukraine.
They're probably still on hangers.
Yeah.
I don't know, but meanwhile, one of Putin's soldiers was arrested after footage emerged of him raping a baby in Ukraine. Alexei Bichkov sent the footage to a Russian comrade before he was detained on Saturday. He's said to have shared other videos of abuse of children to other friends and colleagues. Elsewhere in Bucha, 25 girls and women aged 14 to 25 were systemically raped. 9 of those women are now pregnant. Russian soldiers told them they would rape them to the point where they wouldn't want sexual contact with any man to prevent them from ever having Ukrainian children.
Okay.
That's a hell of a quote, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a 50-year-old woman said a Chechen soldier barged into her home that she shared with her husband. At gunpoint, he took me to a house nearby, ordered me to take my clothes off or I'll shoot you. He kept threatening to kill me if I didn't do as he said. Then he started raping me. When she gets home, they've killed her husband. Raped Elena, all we get for her is the name Elena, raped for 12 hours on April 3rd after a Russian sympathizer told the troops her husband was a Ukrainian soldier on the front line. Mother and daughter, pair attacked together by 3 men. Girls aged 15 and 16 were targeted. They started cutting their hair off to make themselves look less hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Do whatever the fuck you got to do now. I mean, it's just inexcusable. It is. And it's, and I don't know. I assume that, I'm not going to assume that any of this is not real, not true.
I know.
But,
I know.
that.
Especially the video the guy sending around the baby rape.
Oh,
Jesus
yeah. I mean, of course
Christ.
that's, and I mean, it's, now you're fucking teetering on genocide.
Yeah.
It's
a genocide already.
I heard something about how it's very difficult to prove genocide. Whatever. Get the fuck out of here. You want to go by your P's and Q's, but it's fucking genocide.
Yeah. It was a genocide once Mariupol got fucking demolished like that.
Yeah.
Think about what that does to that nation for generations. Think about 9/11. 2 buildings were knocked down. I guess 5 technically fell, but in one small spot in lower Manhattan, right? Mm-hmm. It took 20 years to fucking build 1 tower back.
Yeah.
Imagine an entire city rubbleized.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know where you even begin.
No, I can't even imagine. And how you put that infrastructure back together, you know, how this ends, it's, you know, and if Putin takes it over, is he going to start rebuilding it? Going to make it Mother Russia's fucking pride and joy?
Probably.
You know?
Crown jewel. I don't know.
But
apparently this has, and I won't do it any justice, but, you know, there's key shipping routes for Russia and transportation routes that if those are choked off the way this part of Western Ukraine being involved and all those other countries being involved really puts a damper on what they can do, and it could choke Russia out. Yeah. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but people whose journalism I trust are starting to write about some of this stuff, and it's a lot more complicated than just a simple fucking psychopath goes into Ukraine.
I mean, the bigger picture is what's not really known. You know, what the real backstory behind all of it is, but it doesn't change of what's going on the ground.
Yeah,
that doesn't change.
And critics will also point to the fact that America has been engaged in wars: Iran, Syria, Libya, Afghanistan.
Yeah,
that we've killed untold hundreds of thousands and millions of people.
Yep. And
it's like, well, how are you fucking any different than what Russia's doing in Ukraine?
Well, that again, there's ethics involved for the most part. I mean, not that there's not collateral damage and you know, innocent victims.
Like when Biden went after the attackers who blew up at the airport and ended up bombing a family of 10.
Right.
A humanitarian trip.
Yeah, fucking.
Like those?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, shit happens.
We got him. We bombed him good. Okay.
Okay, good for you.
Took out a white van, dickhead.
But, I mean, there are...
Not blaming him. They all do it.
There's rules of engagement. There's, you know, and we're not in there, like, to take over these countries to occupy them. You know? I mean, you can argue whether it's right or wrong in what we do and how we do it. But overall, it's not in there because we fucking want to be there. We didn't take over fucking Iraq.
Yeah.
We didn't take over Afghanistan.
No, we just
didn't take over fucking Libya.
We just destroyed a semi-stable nation. You know,
again, you can argue, but
I
mean, it wasn't unprovoked. I mean, we didn't go in there because fuck them. That's why.
Yeah.
You know, so there's more to it than that. And again, like I said, there's rules of engagement that apply on how and what you do, and you know, not that it's always perfectly adhered to,
Guantanamo,
and perfectly.
What are you talking about, T?
But
overall, this gets over our head. I have reached out to a couple reporters that I think would be good to hear from their side and kind of get a little history lesson about it. I haven't heard back. I might not hear back, so we'll see. Let's get some email and then call it a day. What
Sounds good.
By the way, I had mentioned yesterday that we were talking to Vinny Dombrowski about coming in.
Yeah.
He was going to come in with Tony, and we were going to do. Tony owns a liquor store type thing that specializes in high-end whiskeys, and he's excited to bring some stuff in and sample them, and we're going to have Vinny play
busking for my whiskey.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
Singing for my whiskey.
Or singing. Was it singing? I thought it was busking for my whiskey.
Singing. Busking for my lunch is the term, I believe, but singing for my whiskey is what Vin came up with.
Okay, yeah.
So, but anyway, we obviously aren't doing that today, but we are doing it next Tuesday.
Okay.
So Tony and Vin
Fingers crossed.
Both agreed that they can make that work. Vinny gets very busy once the weather starts warming up, and they're able to play venues all over. So he gets you know, last minute it'll be like, yeah, come play in fucking Poughkeepsie for the week.
He's fucking off right now. He's not playing anywhere.
He could be. Just like, fuck.
Dude, it's 70 degrees today. I'm not going to a show. I'm going to the beach.
All right. Subject: extra content.
Uh-oh. On the Patreon page, patreon.com/TDC Podcast.
Gentlemen, I would like to bring your attention to the extra content being recorded for patrons of the podcast on Patreon. I don't believe this should be considered extra or out of the ordinary, as it should be considered regular programming for your premium subscribers. Please don't consider this above and beyond, but rather fulfilling your commitment. You asked us to step up, and we anticipate you'll be meeting us halfway with additional content. Rather than extra content, you might consider another X word like exclusive.
Okay.
I have been enjoying the podcast recently and especially appreciate the exclusive content available to me as a patron of TDC Podcast. P.S. Eric's recent trip to Fort Worth excluded a visit to the Backuses. His action-packed schedule did not include any extraneous time and likely led to him having a less than positive experience in our growing city. Perhaps another time.
Well, potato.
Yeah.
But
I understand his point, though.
yeah, well, I mean, there has been other things in there besides the news we didn't get to segment that has been more extra.
Well,
So
he's saying that it's exclusive.
yes,
You know,
Okay.
Make it, and I agree. I sent him an email back. I said, "Dude, that makes sense. Honestly,
exclusive. I do like that.
I do like that too. Exclusive content that you can only get by being a Patreon member.
Yes.
Patreon.com/TDC Podcast. Please join up. I know people are trickling in each day, but I'd really love to see a push and really get people involved. I think, So it's going good so far. We
Going
need
well.
more. You know, we really need to juice that up, and it helps so much. And I know you'll appreciate the extra, the exclusive content.
See, we're gonna have to retrain ourselves,
Dude, and I said, I told back, as I emailed him back, and I said, dude, I've been conditioned.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna fuck this up, but
sure.
but I agree with you. I think it is better.
Exclusive.
It's exclusive content for Patreon
Something
members.
about exclusivity that just rings that bell, doesn't it?
Yep. AA Ron chimes in. You're a great interviewer. You should do more of that.
Okay, thanks, AA Ron.
Play to your strengths. Okay, he's talking to you, I think, there. Shows have been great lately, and I hate to complain, but there's something off about the latest episode. I can't put my finger on it.
Oh, boy.
I'm not sure if it's the lack of coherent thought or the constant interruptions, or maybe it's me screaming, "Shut the fuck up, Etard, and let Mike finish his thought." I look forward to future episodes with less of that. Also, did the Alabama mechanic save E-Money? I really wish that if he did, it would have been mentioned once or twice or three times. Someone else said, did you need to mention it 5 to 7 times? We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take the good, you take the bad with E.
You're absolutely right.
It's what comes with it.
Oh,
He's going to do that.
He will absolutely do that.
Loudly. Thanks, Bone Job.
Yep.
It's a good picture of Connor, isn't it?
Would have never guessed.
Yeah, handsome bastard. There.
Oh, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. It's got a little, what's the guy from the fucking cartel? The fucking...
From the cartel?
Yeah, the fucking dude from the Bolivian cartel. Anyway, total brain fart. Brain shut down. The fucking not El Chapo, fucking the biggest...
The big one,
Yeah, forever. Come on, help me out.
Yeah, I know.
We are full fucking
It's
etards.
the end of the show.
I know.
It's the end of the show. Yeah, that's okay. You're talking about,
I know.
it's probably on our screen right now. People are screaming it at us.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
No.
But yeah, he looks like a cartel guy.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like him.
The guy that changed the population of rhinoceroses, I believe, in his country.
Yeah.
Pablo Escobar?
Pablo Escobar. Thank you so much. Well
All right, stop typing it on the
done.
fucking thing.
Got it. We got there.
Please smash the like button, comment,
Yes.
like, share, all that stuff. We do see the numbers going up. You're absolutely right, T. That's encouraging, but we need more.
We need more interaction with it too.
Yeah, and we'll try to interact with comments on there. I've been trying to do more of that on Facebook.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess we're good.
Okay.
Call it a day for today.
'Cause that's a freaking novel.
Yeah, it's a good one though.
Okay.
It's a good one. We'll save it.
We'll save that.
Save that for tomorrow. I've got a few emails we can save for tomorrow.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, they've been piling up, so
Good enough.
which is good. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.